Well, thank you, Jay. Leanne Cusack is on location today with a truly incredible story. Lily.
Growing up, they were known as the Barber Girls, Mary Ellen Hewson now and Rebecca Hollingsworth. Sisters, both educators, self-describedly best friends and busy mothers who last year in November, both within days of each other, received a diagnosis of breast cancer. What type of cancer, Rebecca?
We were both diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma.
And we're here at the Ottawa Hospital where you received your treatment and your surgery because, as we'll explore throughout the program, you're determined to bring a new piece of technology that's going to make such a difference for so many women and men. But I have to say, Mary Ellen, it's such a shocking story because there's no genetic component necessarily to the type of cancer you're both diagnosed with.
That's right. We were tested thoroughly regarding genetics, and we were pretty lucky, pretty happy to hear the news that it wasn't genetically linked. However, we'll keep an eye on the developments of genetics in the upcoming future, but we're pretty thrilled that that wasn't part of our diagnosis in order for our children to have a brighter future.
You courageously fought this together, and seemingly you've done everything pretty well together. Describe your relationship, Rebecca.
Well, we've always been close. We were 3.5 years apart, and we were always close to begin with, but obviously we've been living in each other's shoes literally since November, every day, sort of going through our days, our treatments, our symptoms, our feelings, all that stuff. So we're even closer, if you can believe it.
Very much.
Yeah.
What happened? I think, was it self-examination? You noticed a lump?
Yeah, it was just lucky, really. I happened to be doing a breast self-exam, which I wasn't all that diligent in doing, but I kind of found myself in a situation where I thought, I have nothing else to do, okay, I'll do that. And I just felt something didn't feel quite right. It wasn't a big bump or a lump or anything like that, but it was just one side felt different than the other. So I kind of just thought I better follow up on that.
And at the same time, you had noticed an anomaly.
Yeah, I had a lump that we were keeping an eye on for about a year prior to that. And so when Rebecca was diagnosed, I knew that I needed to follow up pretty quickly on that, and not thinking that it was going to be cancer, but it was. And I feel very blessed that I went and got it checked when I did.
So you're both dealing with exactly the same thing. You both, still have your busy lives, all of your kids, and I said you're educators, you're a phys ed teacher, and I know that you do some supply teaching, but you run partially your husband's
Yes, I do.
business.
I work with him, yes.
And we should say that Rebecca's husband, you'll wonder if the name Hollingsworth, of course, will be familiar because Dave is our legal expert on the program quite often. So I had insight into what, even though we hadn't met, Mary Ellen, insight into what you were dealing with because we have so many shared friends. But people just kept talking about how strong you were and how courageous you were. How did you do all of this, especially while you were worried about each other?
That's actually been one of the many blessings that have come out of this. We have an amazing friendship network, both of us. Our family, we have lots of family members who stepped up for us in large ways. We had people, we both have young children, so we had people taking our kids to the sports, cooking for us, walking our dogs. We had so much support and so much love right from the very first day. Our mother moved in with both of us, so we knew we were being well taken care of.
And her husband stepped up too.
Yes, they certainly did.
And I see just arriving in the background, we have Dr. Jean Seeley, and that's the reason we're here today, because although you are almost a year out, and where are you now in the cancer journey?
Well, we're actually both just about at the same stage, and we're just about to start our follow-ups now, sort of October, November. So, we were diagnosed in November, so not quite a year, but we're getting close.
And Dr. Seeley, who just walked in through the background, is going to join us in just a moment's time because she's worked really tirelessly to bring a groundbreaking piece of equipment that is going to so affect the outcomes of anyone, men or women diagnosed with breast cancer in our region. So we're going to hear from her in just a few moments' time, and why this sister duo is working on some pretty dynamic fundraising events, because you're determined to raise how much, Rebecca?
Well, we have some lofty goals. Ideally, we would love to help the Ottawa Hospital Foundation with $250,000. So, but every little bit helps, so we'll do what we can do.
We'll tell you what you can do when we come back.